Hey everyone, I want to create a quick video to show you a new process for our workflow. And all of this is centralized around GitHub. GitHub is going to be our very best friend this semester and moving forward because of some issues we've noticed in the past with keeping people in the loop, keeping work centralized, using different tools. If we stay on GitHub with some really cool integrations that I want to show you, that's going to keep everyone in the loop and make sure we're always making smart and safe deployments onto our app, aka merging to master, because, well, that's integrated too. So what I want to do is start by reminding you that this is where all of our work gets updated. So this is found in our org site, which is github.com/CSbyUs. If you go to project boards, you'll find our TRD workflow. And this is where we want to keep track of everything that we're doing for the current sprint. So any 2-week increment that we're in for development. So we talked about tasks as being either bugs or parts of a feature that you want to work on for a given story. So let's say you want to add a new like button for a blog. Well, you would open an issue. An issue is a bug or an enhancement, and it's also synonymous with a task. So a task is an issue, and these are both either bugs or enhancements. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit more about issues in a second. So what you want to do is you want to make a card, and you want to put it here, and you want to assign it to yourself. Well, it's a lot of work to open up a card, to write things, all that, so let's automate it. So how do we do that? Let's walk through the process. Here we are on our site. This is where we go if we go to CSbyUs.org or the URL you see now. Let's say we're on the homepage team or the UX team, and we read some language and we want to add a little bit. So we want to add open access and open source curricula. So we can do that. Here we are in our local repository, and what I can do here is check where I'm at. So git status, I'm on branch master. So I kind of want to change to a different branch. So I'm going to go to first see what's going on. I'll go to my branch. So I'll go to git checkout Tanner. So now that I'm on Tanner's branch, I can make this change, which would be great. So I want to go here. I've actually already changed this in another video. So let's actually make a new branch. So I want to say git, go back to master, git checkout, new branch, Tanner v2. After I go to master, because I want to branch off of master. So this is good process. So git checkout b Tanner v2. So this will branch off of master. So now I'm in a new branch. So now if I go to the component that I want to change, I can make that change. But hold on, we missed something. What did we miss? We went straight into coding. Well, what we need to do in our workflow is change that. What we need to do is we need to notice this issue, which is a bug or an enhancement, and we want that to be reflected in our GitHub workflow first, before we start coding. So if we go to our repository, we can do this 2 different ways. We can go to issues, we can open up a new issue and type some stuff, reference some code, that's great. But if we know exactly in the code where we want to fix, then let's just go there so we can reference that line to make everyone's life a little bit easier. So we know we're in JavaScript, components, home, and what I want to change is down here, open access. I want to add some more language. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this line and reference in a new issue. So it's going to open up a new issue. So I want to say change language in customize section on home to reflect open source. So what this is going to do is this is the title, this is the information. So then I want to just write a quick little blippet. It says currently only says open access. We want to add and open source. Great. So a couple important things. Let's assign this to someone. Let's say you're on the blog team, you're working with someone else, or the home team, you're working with someone else. You can assign it to them, or you can assign it to yourself. In this case, I'll assign it to myself. I'm going to label it with some important labels. So let's call it an enhancement and a good first issue. So this is a first issue for us. Project, this is very important. Please do this. Link it to TRD workflow. This is so that those cards are automatically generated, linked, and submit. Great. A few things happen. This is what an issue looks like in GitHub. You see the title we just made. It's an open issue. It's not been fixed yet. This is the exact place in the code that we referenced. This is very helpful if you assign it to someone else. They can see what you're saying. Some more description, which clearly says what I need to do. And you can see that, oh, hey, this was automatically added to TRD workflow via an automation tool. Let's check it out. Something else appeared. That's great. This is our issue that we just opened up. It's assigned to me. So you see my picture. And you can click on it for more details. So, oh, this is great. I'm going to add a reaction. This is a great idea. I'm going to get to work on this. And it's in progress. So now is the time where I can go to, let's say maybe I want to agree to, great catch, I'll get on this. Great, so now I'm going to continue with the development. I'm going to, remember I'm on Tanner v2. I'm going to change the language to reflect the change. Oh, hey, it referenced the line before, line 122. So let's add and open source, save. I want to make sure that this is running well locally. To do so, I need to install a new database gem, which is SQLite. Click Save, Bundle, Install. This is so that I can check that if I didn't break anything, it's going to run locally just fine, and then it's going to reflect my changes. So let's start the local server. Let's open up localhost 3000. It's going to take a second to build through Webpack, but we should see these changes reflected locally. So always make sure when you're fixing issues that those changes are indeed reflected locally before you push to master. Great. So now we can kill the server. We're ready to push to this branch, not master, this branch, because the next step in the process is to open up a pull request. We want to ask to be pulled into master. So first thing I want to do is I want to clean this up. Okay, we made sure it's running locally. Let's reinstall our Postgrade gem before we push. We are now ready to push to Tanner v2. So I'm going to add all the changed files, descriptive commit message, and I want to say fixed issue. I always want to reference the issue. GitHub will notice this and add it to our comments here to keep everything nice and centrally located. So this is issue number 5. So I'm going to say fixed issue number 5 and added open source. I'm going to push to site is our remote, and Tanner v2 is the branch. Great, so this was pushed properly. Now, once I've done this, I can create a pull request. So this will automatically pull up new pull requests. But first, you can see in our issue that it was updated with a comment that Tanner pushed a commit that referenced this issue a minute ago, and this is the commit. So now, I want to make a pull request. You can click this one because it identified it for you, or if you want to do it from scratch, you can just click new pull request. The idea is I want to pull Tanner v2 into master. I want master to reflect those changes. So my base is master. My changed branch is Tanner v2. Git automatically checks if there are merge conflicts, and it will tell you if there are. In this case, I am good to go. So we also see the diffs here. I did exactly what I wanted to do in the issue, and we are off to the races. So let's create the pull request. Fix issue number 5, added open source. This is descriptive enough, no need to write a really lengthy comment. So a couple important things here. Reviewers, I want to be diligent about adding reviewers, so I can't review my own code. I need someone else to do that. So in the real world, I would ask one of you to do this. We'll talk more about this. And then the assignee is the person that approves the pull request, that says, hey, this works, go ahead and pull this into master. And this is after a process of reviewers commenting, checking to see if it runs locally. So I'll assign it to myself. Add my project, again, very important. If you add it to the project, you will see this reflected as a card. We want to remember all of our work centrally located. So when I create the pull request, awesome. For this issue, I have an open pull request assigned to Tanner. So Tanner's going to check this to see if the reviewers say yay or nay, and then Tanner can say, okay, let's merge. Also, you notice this was added to our charity workflow very nicely. So this is the icon for a pull request. This is the icon for an issue. These will both move from to do to done after I finish this process. So the process is this. I've checked. This works. Tanner's like, okay, let's go for it. Merge pull request. Confirm the merge. Fantastic. It's merged. So this should change. We saw this moved, the merge moved the pull request from to do to done. That's fantastic. Now let's close the issue. Again, assigned to me. Pull request approved by, and you can tag people in this markdown form. And I'm going to close and comment. So now, again, automatically moved from to do to done. And the cool thing here now is that we were talking about integrations with Heroku before. What Heroku does is it listens for changes to master. Well, we just merged to master. So now Heroku, if you go to our Heroku app, you'll see that it's got a build in progress because it was listening to that master branch on our organization's GitHub account. So if we go to this build message, what this is doing is it's taking those changes that we merged from Tanner v2 into master. It's building, it's making sure everything's built correctly. We'll add more tests to this later on, but once it passes all those checks, then it's going to deploy to our remote server, CSbyUs.org, which redirects to csbyus.herokuapp.com. So the goal is to see the local change that I made here. This is, again, localhost 3000, open access, and open source. We want to see that reflected here. So we're still building. And this will eventually show up. I'm running out of time for this video. This will deploy and show up right here if I hit refresh.